Welcome to the sanctuary of the Whispering Woods. Settle into your bed, let your shoulders drop, and allow your breathing to slow. You are exactly where you need to be. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a dense, ancient forest. The twilight is painting the sky in deep, bruised purples and soft indigos. Before you, a gentle curtain of mist parts, inviting you in. As you take your first step across the threshold, the air changes. It is crisp, incredibly pure, and carries the faint, sweet fragrance of crushed pine needles, damp earth, and something entirely unearthly like the scent of rain falling on starlight. With every step you take into the trees, the heavy burdens of your waking life simply fall away, melting into the shadows. The forest floor is completely covered in a thick, velvety blanket of emerald moss that cushions your feet, making your footsteps entirely silent. You are safe here. You are unseen. You are free to just be. As you wander deeper, the natural light of the sun fades completely, but the forest does not plunge into darkness. Instead, it wakes up. Soft, bioluminescent light begins to pulse from the floor around you. Ferns unfurl with a gentle cyan glow. Clusters of tiny, bell-shaped flowers emit a warm, golden radiance, swaying gently in a breeze you cannot feel. Look up at the ancient trees towering above you. Their bark is silver and smooth, and their massive canopies are woven with vines that shimmer like spun glass. The forest breathes. You can feel it. Slow, rhythmic, rising and falling cadence that vibrates softly through the soles of your feet. Breathe in, and let the glowing air fill your lungs. Breathe out, and release the last of your tension into the roots below. As you venture deeper along the mossy trail, you begin to notice floating motes of amber light dancing lazily in the air around you. They do not rush, and their slow, rhythmic floating encourages your own heartbeat to settle even further, perfectly matching their peaceful, wandering cadence. You soon find yourself walking alongside a winding creek where the water does not splash, but rather chimes like distant, muted crystal bells. The stones resting at the bottom of the shallow creek bed are smooth, round geodes, gently parted by time to reveal veins of sparkling amethyst and deep, twilight blue lapis. As the glowing water washes over them, it casts a mesmerizing liquid kaleidoscope of colors onto the underside of the silver trees above, wrapping you in a blanket of shifting, soothing light. The creek gently leads you through a grand archway formed by the massive, twisting roots of an ancient, slumbering tree. Inside this natural tunnel, the air is perfectly temperate and holds the comforting aroma of sweet cedar and dried lavender. Curtains of soft, glowing lichen hang like velvet drapes from the root ceiling overhead, brushing gently against your shoulders and wrapping you in a profound sense of safety, reassuring you that you are entirely protected from the outside world. You follow the soft murmur of water until the trees part, revealing a perfectly still, perfectly round lake. Its surface is not like water, but like polished obsidian mirror, reflecting the vast, magical cosmos above. Constellations that do not exist in our world wheel slowly across the water's surface, glittering in shades of amethyst, sapphire, and pearl. You find a comfortable hollow at the base of a great willow tree near the shore. You sink down into the soft earth, feeling the steady, grounding weight of the world supporting you. Across the lake, a gentle ripple disturbs the starglass. A magnificent creature, perhaps a stag with antlers woven from pure moonlight, steps to the water's edge, tips its head, and drinks. You are a welcomed guest in this ancient place. The trees are settling in for the night. Your limbs feel delightfully heavy. The magic of the woods wraps around you, a warm, heavy blanket of absolute peace and quiet. There's nothing left to solve tonight. There's nothing left to do. Drift now. Drift into the deep, quiet expanse of the wild. Let the glowing moss hold you. Let the ancient trees watch over you, and let sleep carry you away. As your eyes gently close, the sounds of the forest shift, growing softer and more distant, like a lullaby carried away on a slow evening breeze. The air around you remains perfectly warm, carrying the faint, comforting scent of cedarwood, crushed vanilla orchids, and the crisp freshness of high-altitude night air. Below you, the mossy ground seems to gently conform to the exact shape of your body, supporting you completely so that you don't have to hold a single bit of tension in your muscles. You can feel your chest rising and falling in perfect harmony with the slow, steady rhythm of the earth beneath you. Every breath you take in is filled with peaceful stillness, and every breath you let out releases another layer of daylight thoughts into the quiet night. Deep within the canopy above, a soft, rhythmic humming begins to echo, vibrating at a frequency that instantly calms the last remnants of a busy mind. Muted cellos playing a single, continuous chord. This sound wraps around you like an invisible, weighted blanket, pressing down with just enough comforting pressure to make you feel completely secure. As these glowing flecks touch the ground around you, they dissolve silently, leaving behind a lingering sense of absolute tranquility. Across the star-glass lake, the pale blue mist begins to rise higher, swirling into elegant, slow-moving columns that dance across the dark water without making a sound, spreading their vaporous wings before dissolving back into the glassy surface. The light from the stars overhead seems to pulse in time with this silent dance, shifting from deep sapphire to a soft, sleepy lavender. You watch this scenery behind closed eyes, the vivid colors painting themselves onto the back of your eyelids in gentle, non-intrusive waves of light. The entire world has slowed down to a crawl, and you are moving right along with it, drifting further away from the waking world. A soft, cool breeze brushes past your cheek, carrying with it the delicate whisper of the high mountain peaks that stand guard far beyond the forest edge, existing only to sweep away the final, stubborn fragments of your day. It gently rustles the weeping willow branches that hang around your mossy hollow, creating a soft, dry, clicking sound that mimics the gentle patter of a summer rain shower. The boundary between your body and the restful ground beneath you begins to blur, leaving you feeling delightfully weightless, yet profoundly grounded. Far out on the water, a family of luminescent swans emerges from the reeds, their feathers glowing with a soft, pearlescent radiance that lights up the dark lake. They glide forward without creating a single ripple, their long necks bowing in unison as if acknowledging the deep peace that has settled over the grove. As they move, they leave a faint, glowing trail of silver light in the water behind them, a path of illumination that slowly fades back into the dark obsidian. The sight is entirely mesmerizing, a perfectly peaceful image that gently clears away any lingering internal dialogue, leaving your mind completely blank and quiet. You are merely a passive observer to this ancient night ritual, safe and cozy in your hidden sanctuary. The ancient roots beneath you shift ever so slightly, a gentle, microscopic cradle movement that serves as a physical lullaby for your body. This movement is so slow and subtle that you can only perceive it through a deep sense of safety and comfort that expands within your chest. The tree has been standing here for thousands of years, watching over countless nights, just like this one, and it knows exactly how to protect your peace. It absorbs any leftover restless energy from your body, pulling it deep into the dark earth where it is transformed into new, quiet life. These flowers only open when the world is entirely still. The scent drifts down through the pine needles and willow branches, wrapping around you like a warm, fragrant embrace that makes each breath feel deeper and more satisfying than the last. With every inhalation, your mind sinks into a state of profound calm, finding a peaceful sanctuary in the natural rhythms of the wild. There is no tomorrow to worry about yet, and there is no yesterday to retrace. There is only this perfect, fragrant moment of rest. A single golden moth flutters down from the canopy, its wings dusted with a glittering, phosphorescent powder that glows softly in the darkness, its silent flight pattern drawing your remaining attention into a single, peaceful point of focus. Finally, it settles gently on a nearby fern leaf, its wings folding closed as it joins the rest of the forest in a deep, undisturbed slumber. The stillness is absolute now, a heavy, velvet quiet that presses gently against your ears, shutting out the rest of the universe. The silver bark of the trees around you begins to absorb the last of the ambient light, transitioning from a bright metallic sheen to a deep, restful, pewter gray. The bioluminescent ferns below roll up their fronds, their brilliant cyan hues dimming down to a faint, sleepy teal that barely skims the surface of the moss. This gradual dimming of the forest is nature's way of turning down the lamps, preparing the entire valley for the deepest midnight phase of rest. You can feel this transition within yourself, a natural closing of the gates, a gentle shutting down of your senses as you prepare to cross the threshold into deep sleep. The world is darkening around you in the most beautiful, comforting way possible. Beneath the lake's surface, the ancient geodes pause one final time. The stars above seem to draw a blanket of thin, dark clouds over themselves, softening their sharp glitter into a hazy, diffused glow that resembles a distant nebula. It fills every corner of your mind, smoothing out the rough edges of your thoughts until they are as round and smooth as the river stones. You are floating on a vast sea of absolute quiet, drifting further and further from the shores of awareness. A gentle warmth begins to emanate from the moss bed beneath you, a natural heat generated by the deep living earth that keeps the nighttime chill completely at bay. This warmth spreads slowly up through your back. Your jaw relaxes, the muscles around your eyes soften, and your forehead becomes perfectly smooth and clear, like the untouched surface of the lake. You are a creature of the earth tonight, perfectly aligned with the slow, deep resting state of the soil and the roots. The faint, rhythmic ticking of a distant water drop falling onto a hollow stone becomes the only marker of time left in the entire wilderness, and no expectations to meet in this sacred space of the woods. The forest does not care about hours or minutes. You allow yourself to fully accept this timelessness, letting your mind drift away from the concept of time altogether. The soft mist from the lake now creeps over the bank, rolling gently across the mossy floor like a slow-moving, protective wave of white down. It blankets your feet, then your legs, and finally settles around your shoulders, creating a microclimate of absolute safety and isolation within the larger forest. Inside this gentle cocoon of mist, you are completely hidden from the outside world. It's a secret dreamer, tucked away in the heart of a magical land. No worries can find you here. No responsibilities can pierce through this thick, soft barrier of vapor and starlight. You are entirely insulated, entirely protected, and entirely free to surrender your consciousness to the heavy tide of sleep. The music of the silverleaf maples fades into a single, low vibration that you can feel in your chest rather than hear with your ears. A steady anchor, keeping you safe while you drift. The forest has completed its transition into the deep midnight state, and the energy here is now completely still, heavy, and beautifully dark. The ancient willow tree above you lowers its longest branches just an inch more, completely closing the curtain around your small, mossy sanctuary. You are entirely enclosed in a womb of nature, held by the roots, warmed by the earth, and watched over by the ancient spirits of the wild. Your breathing is now so shallow and slow that it is barely a whisper in the dark. But that is hours away, okay? Distant reality that doesn't matter to you now as you slide effortlessly over the edge of wakefulness. You are falling into a deep, beautiful sleep, cradled by the magic of the whispering woods, entirely at peace. The darkness here is not empty. It is a rich, velvety expanse that holds you with an infinite, tender gentleness. Every breath you take now is a slow, seamless wave. The forest has drawn its deep, emerald curtains completely closed around your mind, leaving you in a state of pure, weightless, suspended animation. You are floating in a sea of absolute tranquility, where the boundaries of time have completely dissolved into the quiet night. The air remains perfectly still and warm around you, a protective cocoon that isolates you from every care, every chore, and every tomorrow. There's nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to figure out, and nowhere else you need to be. You are completely surrendered now to the heavy, beautiful tide of the midnight wild, monochromatic quiet, leaving only the purest sense of rest to wash over you. Let the heavy blanket of the woods tuck you in. Let the deep roots ground your spirit, and let yourself slide completely under the surface of wakefulness. Sleep is here now, deep and unbroken, wrapping you in the timeless magic of the woods.